Hey everybody, it's Brooke. I'm here with a quick video showing you how to use the Friday freebie this week. That will be 10/13/2023, and I'm still playing with the creepy baby. If you are not a member of the Facebook group, come on over and join us. I'll put a card up there, or a link rather. Come on and join us. Just make sure to answer the 3 easy questions so I know you're not a robot, and you too can get your Friday freebies. If you're already a member, you guys are awesome. I hope you're making a book. Somebody had messaged me and asked what they could use for the cover if they didn't have any Halloween 12 by 12 paper, or the right 12 by 12 paper or something. So I said you could use a digi. And so this week's freebie is a front cover and a back cover for your JALBUM, if you would like, or whatever you would like to use them for. But I'm going to use it on our JALBUM because I got really irritated. This was the cover that we made in the first part of the JALBUM series. And I got really annoyed with the fact that this graphic was hanging off the edge. I realized that you could see the letters wrapped around, and that was going to bug me forever. Now, I tried to take the paper off to reuse the cover. Yeah, I don't think so. Apparently, I glued that puppy down really well, so I don't know if I can reuse this cover. So I had a different book cover, and I was just playing around with the sizing on the freebie, and it was too big, and this is how it came out using a digital, and I was really excited. This book cover is the same size as the one that we had before, and I love this, except that too much of it ended off coming off the sides. And I printed it on presentation paper instead of on cardstock. So I just wanted to see how it would look on there. And I also wanted to see if I could use my Liquitex matte medium over my I was going to say dot matrix printer. Good grief, what century is this? Over my inkjet printed pieces. So it worked great on the paper. Let's see if it'll work on cardstock. And let's see if we can get the cardstock to stick to this. It's all a big experiment. But anyway, this is the 2 pages that you get, a front page and a back page. I don't see why you couldn't do it the other way. Whatever you like, but I designed it to be this way. So this is 8.5 by 11 white cardstock from Michaels, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these 2 pieces together, just barely overlapping them. This is art glitter glue in this bottle, just putting a thin strip down. And I don't know what I did to make the white border. I guess I didn't print borderless or something. I messed around with the printer. I've just been a mess today, and I am just barely overlapping that, trying to get it pretty straight. Use our scraper. Okay, we'll get that glued together. And then we'll take our book. And I just don't want, that was the other thing that was annoying me about the book we covered the other day, was where I put the torn edge on the back. It actually had come up over the spine, and that was making me crazy. So I just want to make sure that the seam I just made is not in the fold of the spine. So that would be right about there, something along those lines. And I can feel where the edges are. I want to move that down a little bit, I think. Oh, good. We're not going to lose much at all. Oh, that makes me happy. Isn't she creepy, that little girl? Ooh. Okay, so what I did was I took my matte medium, and this is Johni from the Junk Journal Shop's method of covering a book, sort of. I'll link Johni down below. I'm sure you know her. But this is kind of how she covers her journals. So I'm just going to put a really good, even, not terribly thick coat of matte medium on the cover. And I remembered to put my silicone mat down. Aren't you proud of me? It's a miracle. Getting down in those folds. Just don't want it to be too much. I'm a little heavy-handed. I realize this. And we'll put that out of the way. And then I'm going to pick it up, and I am going to make sure I have this going the right way. I'm going to put the book down like this. Make sure that I get that spine in the middle. Oh, can you see that? So I've got the place where we joined it in the middle of the spine. I'm going to press that down, press it down around the edges, and then I'm going to flip it over. Yep, that looks good. Let's go ahead and brayer this. I didn't cut the white edges off because they will be wrapped around, and it just gives me a little bit more to wrap if I need it. So we'll just brayer that, make sure we get good contact. And I just printed this. I'm hoping that I'm not going to have a problem with the matte medium because the glue hasn't had a chance to set up. I suppose that is a possibility. So let your print sit for a little bit, or maybe use your heat tool on it before you start messing with it. Oh, this mat's slippery. Okay, that seems like it's pushed pretty well. Just sneak in under here, put in a little more matte medium on the corners, make sure we got those really well. Pretty well. This is pretty well adhered. I actually like this cover so much more than the one we did, not just mechanically, but the images on it. Makes me happy. I'm liking it. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit more in there to make sure those corners are good and stuck. Get back down to where you can see it. I've been tossing this thing around like a pizza. I made the images sort of smaller and concentrated in the center, so if your book is smaller, you can still get the main pictures on your cover. So hopefully that will help. All right then, that is down there well. It's sticking really well. I sanded the paper that I had put down before, so I think it'll be fine. Okay, and it looks like we've got enough space around the edges this time. Yay. Okay, I was just thinking for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and miter the corners. Remember, don't go all the way up to the cover of your book. You want to leave some paper there to get a nice neat corner. Do the same thing on all four corners. And I think I could go ahead and get rid of a little bit of this. Try not to take too much, but some. Okay, get our scraps out of the way. Then I'm going to start folding. And again, I'm just bending it up. Just bending it up. And if you're not making a JALBUM or you don't want the cover, you could certainly use these as pages in your Creepy Baby journal if you're making one. If you're not playing with the Creepy Baby, probably this will be a week that you are not thrilled with the freebie. But Halloween's almost here, and then I'll get back to doing other stuff. You know how it is. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I've got that paper started folding using my little folding tool. Okay, start those corners. Okay. I think that's the trickiest part of getting a neat cover, is getting those corners to act right. Oh, mine's not acting right at all. Get in there. There we go. So just run that along there. Go ahead and get that crease going. I do like to work the paper and get it really, really good and ready to know where it's going before I put the glue on, just so I don't have any mishaps once it's glued. As I demonstrated with the cover that we did before, yeah, that puppy was glued down. It's not becoming unglued anytime soon. Okay, so we'll do that. Make sure that corner is acting the way it should. So I'll just score it here, score it here. Coax that paper. It all is acting really good. Perfect. So now I think what I will do, instead of trying to do that with my matte medium, I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabri-Tac. I think it'll be a little quicker. You could certainly use your matte medium or your Mod Podge, whatever you like. I'm putting some right up against the fold. Just putting a good generous amount on there. And folding, I didn't get out my clamps. I should have done that, huh? Okay. I'll do that one-handed. Hold on. Going in the drawer. One-handed with Fabri-Tac on my fingers. What could go wrong? There we go. Okay, that's looking good. It's sticking. Put my clamps on just for good measure. Use my little scraper. Get that edge nice and glued. Get a sharp corner. You don't want it to look soft or sloppy. Go ahead and fold that up. Grab another clamp. Oh my gosh, did you guys see my post about pumpkin spice goldfish? Oh, I'm not a huge goldfish fan. I don't hate them, but you know, I don't think they're great. I'm not a huge graham cracker fan. They're okay, but I don't go out of my way to get any. Olivia brought home the pumpkin spice Dunkin' Donuts goldfish. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you like pumpkin spice and you ever see those, get 100 bags. Let me just tell you, they are stinking delicious. I could live on them. And they are, you know, limited edition for the fall or whatever. I'm going to have to fill the freezer, obviously, because they are too good. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing. Gosh, I hope I've been in frame. Going around the edge, just like that. And then going up and around, being generous with my Fabri-Tac. It's a new bottle. I'm loving it. Loving it. Oh, that was kind of overly generous. That's a lot coming out right there. But I have my glue eraser, so all is well. Keep burnishing that edge. Make sure that's good and adhered. Everybody act right. There we go. Steal that clamp. Put it over here. That's starting to grab now. Steal this clamp and put it right here. Oh yeah, that's grabbing nicely. Press that down. Oop, leaving gluey fingerprints. That's not best, is it? Then we'll do this last edge. Oh, I put the Fabri-Tac on the left. That's weird. It usually lives on the right. Put that lid on because it looked like it was about to start exploding. Get in there. Perfect. Just perfect. Yeah, okay. Take my bone folder. Give it one last burnish. My scraper tool needs cleaning. It's getting a little sticky. And I love saving my desk with this mat, but the way it slips around makes me crazy. I guess I could tape it down or something, right? Okay, then I'll take my bone folder, just go in those creases a little bit, go in here a little bit, take off our clamps, start working that cover a little bit. We'll turn it over, go in our little fold lines on either side of our spine. Don't push real hard. Remember, this is paper. I did use cardstock, but still. It's paper. Oh, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So if you start just stretching it and stretching it, stretch those fibers, let them start figuring out that they need to bend and not crack. Loving it. Oh, I'm so much happier with this one. Oh, goody. Look at that, you guys. Corner's looking good. Looking good. There's our spine. There's that. And now, what Johni does is gives it a shot. I haven't watched in a while, so I hope I'm remembering this right. Gives it a shot with her heat tool. Makes sure it's dry. You should probably go on over and watch her channel to make sure you get it the right way, because I could be fibbing. Again, I'll link her channel down below. Now I'm going to take the matte medium. Thin, even coat. Okay? And it makes a huge difference on how it looks. Johni uses Mod Podge, but I'm not a huge fan. Can you see how that color is changing already? It's deepening and just, ooh, it looks so good. Okay, now tip it to the light to make sure that that's nice and even. You haven't missed any place. And it does not appear, I mean, I can tell on my brush that obviously the ink from the inkjet printer has moved, but I don't have any smears. It's mostly blue and green, so it's up in here. And it does not look smeared on the cover, so that's awesome. Now what Johni does is lets it dry, dries it with the heat tool, whatever, gives it a sand with a fine grit sandpaper. That's this little guy. Get rid of any little bubbles. You can go over it again with the heat tool, go over it with another coat of the matte medium or Mod Podge, and then just does a spray finish on it just to seal it in, a spray sealer, which I will do, but it's dark out, so I'm not going to go out and do that now. But I think you guys get the idea. And again, go watch Johni and see the pros do it. But I think this looks awesome. I think this is going to be a great cover. I'm glad I waffled and changed my mind, and I hope you enjoy the freebie, and you guys have an absolutely wonderful weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye.